What is going on, everyone? Welcome to another Master Duel video. It's been ages since I've posted. I had this Speedroid game the other day while I was at work, and I was like, yeah, this is going to be interesting. So my opponent's playing a Blackwing deck. I used to love playing Blackwings, but the cards this guy's playing weren't around when I used to play Blackwings. So I don't know everything about Blackwings. I only know the basics. So this is just basically my Speedroid deck running at full capacity. It's a good deck, so I will let you see what happens. Basically, turn one, I'm like, I see he's playing Blackwings. I'm like, they summon a lot. I'm gonna max C. I'm like, this is perfect. He uses Called By. I'm like, I would have had about 400 cards in my hand by the end of turn one, and his day would have been ruined a lot faster because of what's on the top of my deck. So I'll let you see that in a minute. So, then he brings out this card, which is important to note if you don't know anything about Blackwings. Once per turn, if you synchro summon a dark synchro monster from your extra deck during the damage step, you can target one of your Blackwing monsters or Blackwing dragon that is banished in your graveyard with less attack than that. Special summon monster, special summon it. The bottom effect is what is a problem. So once per turn, if a dark monster you control would be destroyed by a battle or card effect, you can remove one black feather counter from your field instead. And it's like, that's protection. Now this deck doesn't have a lot of back row removal, so I'm like, it's fine. So we know he's going to be going for full armor master because that's what Blackwings go for, which is fine, not a problem. So I'm just going to fast forward while we're waiting for this guy to bring out basically his whole extra deck and is just cycling in and out of cards. So I'm like, this is fine. I've got Lightning Storm. I know full armor master's effect. It's not affected by other cards' effects, which is fine. I don't mind that. It's not a problem. I know it won't get destroyed by Lightning Storm, but anything else he leaves on the field will. And I've got a plan. So he brings out full armor master. I'll let you guys read that. Unaffected by the card's effects, each time an opponent's monster activates its effect, place a wedge counter on that opponent's monster. That's the important part and how this card works with the Whirlwind. Once per turn, you can target one monster your opponent controls with a wedge counter on it, take control of it, but obviously it has to be his turn. So I'm like, I have to get rid of this, and I have to get rid of this. So I'm like, okay, in my hand, I'm going to summon Marble, because Marble allows me, when it's normal summoned, I can add a Speedroid monster from my deck to my hand. So I'm like, okay, this is fine. Let's see what happens. So the card on the top of my deck that I was saying would have ruined his day earlier, Nibiru, which would have absolutely ruined him. So, destroy all his attack position monsters. I'm like, I need to get my 8-star out here. He negates my effect, and I'm like, that's fine. Speedroid Red-Eyed Dice in the graveyard is a good thing. So Speedroid Scratch here allows me to send that to the graveyard and pull a Speedroid from my deck to my hand, which is fine. Car Turbo I can special summon, and it's a Tuna monster. I'm going to make a risky play here in a minute, as you'll see. So I bring out Rubber Band Shooter. Rubber Band Shooter's got two effects, which you always use effect 2 first. So you can banish one Wind Synchro monster from your extra deck, reveal 2 Speedroid monsters with different names from your deck, whose total levels equal the level of the Synchro monster. Your opponent randomly picks one for you to add to your hand, and you send the other to the graveyard. So, I send a 7-star, and I choose a 4-star and a 3-star. The 4-star is the one I want in my hand, and the 3-star has to be in the graveyard to use its effect. So, that's what I'm relying on here. The Den Den Juke and the Yo-Yo. I get the one I want in my hand. I use my Rubber Band Shooter's second ability that allows me to normal summon it, and then I use its effect to summon that from the graveyard. I need to get into my 8-star here. That is urgent, because Kite Drake's my only way to remove his back card. So I'm like, fine. Clear Wing comes out. I know it doesn't affect Full Armor Master. It's not a problem. I use Den Den Juke to summon a tuner from my graveyard or my hand. I bring back my 1-star, bring out my 8-star, use its effect, and destroy all other cards on the field. Although I guess I could have used its other effect too, but it's fine. I then banish my Car Turbo to gain 800 attack points, and that's his field done. I'm like, okay, he's got one card in his hand, I think I've got this. If he goes crazy, I've got Nibiru in the hand. I'm fine. Then he does this, and I'm like, here we go. Blackwing Assault Dragon. He's going to summon more things. So he ends up with Blackwing Dragon thing and Armed Wing. So I've got a play here. Now when Kite Drake's destroyed, I can add a monster from my deck to my hand, a Speedroid. So I'm going to go for the only card that makes sense, which is Terratop, which can be special summoned and is fine. I get a card from my deck to my hand. So I'm like, great, I'll still have my normal summon, I can get Yo-Yo out. Now, card turbo there, this is important, I had other plays. So normal summoning Yo-Yo allows me to summon from my graveyard, which is fine, because obviously I can bring back whatever I want from the graveyard. I've got really only one option. But I'm like, there's only one out I have for this, and that's Baron de Fleur to destroy this thing. Now this thing has an interesting effect. What is it? Each time your opponent activates a monster effect, place one black feather counter on this card, and if you do, inflict 700 damage to your opponent. So every effect I'm using, I'm burning right now, so I have to be careful. And then during my opponent's turn, he can tribute this card with 4 or more black feather counters on it and destroy everything on the field. He's a field wipe, and I'm like, okay, I need to get Baron de Fleur. It's my only hope. So I get Yo-Yo out, I summon it. Obviously, I know I'm burning. I bring Marble back, and I'm like, this is fine. Because when Marble's summoned, I can change the level. I can choose the level of another monster on my field between 1 and 6. So I turn it into a 5-4-1, which is 9+1, Baron de Fleur. He's going to have to activate his effect, even though he knows I can negate it, I assume. I activate Baron's second effect, which allows me to destroy a card on the field, and destroy his armed wing, which does nothing other than piercing damage, which allows me to then attack him directly, which is nice. I end my turn, and I know if he doesn't draw something, he's going to leave. He draws his card, it's obviously unusable, and that's the victory. So that was playing around Blackwings. You see what could have been tricky there if I didn't have the certain luck that I got when I drew, when he picked Yo-Yo for me. Had he have picked the Duke, I don't think I had an out for that. But yeah, so lucky gameplay there. Good game, really enjoyed it, so I thought I'd share it with you guys. Let me know what you thought, leave a comment, drop a like, and subscribe to see more. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, guys.